federal government to add 817 megawatts to the national grid. Troops capture 79 terrorists and collaborators, rescue 2 Chibok girls. Rivers State House of Assembly delist Celestine Omehia as ex-governor. Federal government declares October 10 public holiday for Eid Maulud. On the foreign scene, President Joe Biden condemns Vladimir Putin's nuclear threat. Gunman attacks daycare, kills 23 children in Thailand. And in sports, Super Falcons suffer defeat in third friendly match. I am Christine Telfer. Now the news in full. The federal government says plans are ongoing to add 817 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. The managing director of Transmission Company of Nigeria, Mr. Sule Abdulaziz, said this in Abuja while inspecting ongoing projects in the Federal Capital Territory. Abdulaziz said that the project known as the Abuja Feeding Scheme is being funded by the French Development Agency. He said the project would add more transmission lines to the grid and would reinforce electrical power supply when completed. Troops of Operation Hadin K arrested 79 terrorists and their collaborators in the Northeast region. Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Dan Madami, made the declaration in Abuja at the bi-weekly news briefing on the operations of the armed forces. Dan Madami said troops also eliminated many terrorists in land and air operations and rescued 14 abductees, including 2 Chibok schoolgirls. They were rescued at Bula Davo village in Bama local government area of Borno and at Kawa village in Konduga local government area, also in Borno, alongside 12 other abductees. He said the 2 Chibok girls, Yana Pogu and Rejoice Senki, were rescued with their children. The Rivers State House of Assembly has delisted Mr. Celestine Omehia from the list of former governors of the state. The decision was taken during a plenary session at the House of Assembly complex of the state. The legislators of the state moved the motion to reverse an earlier resolution of the 8th Assembly, which compelled the executive arm to recognize Mr. Celestine Omehia as a former governor of the state. The bill now signed into law calls for the refund of 600 million naira in benefits and 96.5 million naira in pension received from the Rivers State government by Mr. Omehia. The federal government has declared Monday, 10th October 2022 as public holiday to mark this year's Eid Maulud celebration in commemoration of the birth of Holy Prophet Muhammad. The Minister of Interior, Ralph Aregbesola, who made this declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated all Muslims both at home and in the diaspora for witnessing this year's occasion. Aregbesola enjoined Nigerians, particularly Muslims, to refrain from violence, lawlessness, and other acts of criminality. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden said Russian President Vladimir Putin's threat to use nuclear weapons is the biggest threat since the Cuban Missile Crisis. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine's forces were recapturing more territory, especially in the south of the country, as Putin's 7-month invasion unravels. At least 30 persons have been killed after a gunman opened fire on a daycare facility in Thailand on Thursday. Police Major General Acheon Kretong said the assailant an ex-police officer, shot and stabbed his victims in Nong Bua Lampu, northeastern Thailand. A motive has yet to be determined, although reports suggest that the officer had been dismissed recently. Now to sports. Japan's female national team defeated the Super Falcons 2-0 on Thursday. Thursday's loss to Japan is their 5th in a row as they prepare for the 2023 World Cup. That sports story brings us to the end of the news. Remember to subscribe to this channel and follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram at New National Star. I am Christine Telfer, and do have a wonderful day.